Hey guys, what is going on? So welcome to 2018. I'm gonna have like such fire content this year. Even just starting off with this video, dude, we're gonna be talking about the iPhone 6 in 2018. A lot of things have came up in even the last like 2 months of just like Apple slowing down their old phones. So especially of the future of the iPhone 6, it's really important to see how this phone is going to hold up at least in this year. Before I even get too far into it though, I'm doing the Xbox One giveaway. Literally one of you guys are going to win an Xbox One. It's actually my personal Xbox One, so it's going to be sent to one of you guys, and to enter is super simple. You just subscribe to the channel and add me on all the social networks. All the links are in the description, so check those out if you want to enter. But literally, let's just jump right into it. So the overall body is still fairly nice. I mean, it's a familiar face. I mean, we already know how this one looks, right? The silver back is kind of older style now. I mean, especially since my 7 Plus is my daily driver, the iPhone 6 and 6S, all those phones with this type of back kind of look like an older device, and it's really kind of starting to show its age a little bit. I mean, but overall the design is dope. But make sure when you get a phone like this that you probably should buy a case. I always go for Apple's case they make. I love them. Even on my daily driver, my 7 Plus, I keep it. So I mean, I'll leave a link to this one in the description if you want to buy it. But the screen is the same resolution as the iPhone 8, so it's not bad. But I've noticed it's not that sharp. It's LCD, so it's not AMOLED like the iPhone 10. So colors are fairly accurate. It's not that bad of a panel even now. But knowing Apple, they'll probably mess up the panel some way too in the future. Now running through the cameras real quick, it has a 1.2 megapixel camera up front and has an 8 megapixel camera on the back. So that pretty much sums it up. There's really not too much to say around here, and I'll talk more about the cameras in a little bit. But booting up the screen, you have iOS 11.2.1, which is the latest version right now. This thing is still supported by Apple, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing. I think you guys all know why it's a bad thing, but the overall fluidity has been somewhat strange in iOS 11, as you guys probably know. And what I mean by that mostly is that the performance I have on this iPhone might not be the same performance that you have on your iPhone, and that all depends on the battery life of your phone, since Apple throttles performance based on the health of the battery now. So even though it only has a dual-core processor and 1 GB of RAM, Apple still feels the need to slow it down even more so it doesn't have those random reboots that some people were having. So to sum up the performance, it gets the job done. And this whole topic kind of brings me back to the next chapter, which is battery life. And in 2017, we saw one of the worst versions of iOS released, which was iOS 11. It's now much smoother and battery life has gotten a little bit better, but Apple has stated that an iOS version is coming within the next couple of weeks with detailed battery stats. So that's pretty cool. But honestly, as much as it pains me to say this, and I really didn't want to fund this little project Apple is doing, but what I would recommend you if you do plan on getting an iPhone 6 or 5S or even a 6S or 7 is go for Apple's $29 repair thing. I feel like it'd be well worth it. It's not going to be a night and day difference. If you're expecting that if you change the battery that you're going to have a blazing fast phone, that's not the case. It's not going to be comparable to the iPhone 8 or iPhone 10 or anything, but I mean, it'll be a little bit better, and I think the $29 might be worth it. Another thing I would recommend is getting the Apple battery case. Now if you're already going to go in and you're already going to get the battery replaced, you might as well grab this case as well. Apple actually makes this case, and I actually have used it before on my iPhone 6 and 6S, so I would highly recommend you guys to get it. If you guys are already going to the Apple store, pick one up, but I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to get it on Amazon. And this next chapter I want to talk about is camera quality, and honestly, it's still not that bad. Photos are solid. Low light shots aren't that great, I'll be honest, but there's a lot of cameras out there, even newer phones, which can't handle low light shots that well. But for the overall quality, I would give it like a 7 out of 10, which isn't bad considering the age of this phone. Now it can only shoot videos up to 1080p, and it only does slow-mo at 720p at 60 frames per second. So for the average user, it's not that bad at all. But if you plan on getting into like any type of photography or anything, you might want to take it up a notch and go with the 6S or 7 or even the 7 Plus, whichever one is more in your price range. The front-facing camera is 1.2 megapixels, which literally kind of sounds as bad as it is. It gets the job done, but I mean, if you're outside and you're taking selfies like that, it's not going to be that bad. I kind of understand. I mean, you have lighting and stuff like that, but if you're indoors and you're taking a selfie, that's going to be kind of hard. I mean, it's going to be somewhat grainy. Outdoor photos look far superior than indoor photos, especially on the iPhone 6. But if you're taking Snapchats and stuff, dude, honestly, it's not gonna be a big difference. Now, here's a huge topic I love talking about, but with this phone, it's kind of hard to talk about, and that is gaming. So I mean, at the end of it, it's still kind of decent. I wouldn't recommend playing like super intensive games on this. I mean, it tends to heat up the phone a little bit. It's not bad at all though. I mean, you can see like I'm playing like heavier intensive games, or at least I'm trying to. And I mean, the sad thing is that in a way, the more you play these games, the more your battery is dying and the cells aren't like charging as much as they used to, and your phone is slowing down, which kind of sucks. I mean, the phone could handle more, but I mean, Apple just clocks at lower speeds. I mean that's why it's so important for you guys to get the battery replaced. You can also replace the batteries yourselves if you want to. It's not that expensive. So everything seems to fall in place with every other phone. I mean, it works as it should. So would I recommend this phone in 2017? This is exactly how I would put it. If you're a person who was probably in high school up to, maybe even in college, and you don't really do much with their phone besides Snapchat, MS, emails, all that like work stuff, light work, whatever, then this phone is not a bad phone at all. But I mean, if you're a person who like has a family and you want to take like amazing pictures of your kids and your dogs and needs all day battery life and needs like or like you're important and someone needs to contact you all the time and you need like a very reliable phone, then honestly you should probably get an iPhone 6s or even an iPhone 7, something like that. It's very hard for me to recommend the iPhone 6 because it's kind of at its end of life. So I mean, it's within the next year or two it's gonna be phased out. It's already kind of getting phased out with these updates. So I mean, even like your grandma or grandpa, you can give them the iPhone 6, they're not gonna care. But if you're in that middle range where like, you have a job or people need to contact you or whatever, you should probably go up to an iPhone 6s or a 7 or whatever. And here's actually a fun fact though, up until like 3 weeks ago, everyone in my family besides me had iPhone 6s as their daily driver, but one of my family members just got an iPhone 10. So I mean, but both my parents still have the iPhone 6 as their daily drivers. Isn't that crazy? So if you want to get an iPhone 6, links in the description. I will also leave links to an iPhone 6s and an iPhone 7, so you don't have to go like scourging around and finding verified ones or whatever. I'll do the dirty work for you and get those links in the description. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, if you plan on buying the iPhone 6, do yourself a favor, get at least a glass screen protector, the Apple silicone case, or the Apple battery case. That's what I would do if I were you. And again, everything linked below. I mean, honestly, thanks so much for watching. 2018 is going to be such a banger. I have so many phones and so many products I need to review. So if you guys like these type of videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.